Well, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? So welcome to our second video of the nakshatra padha for Bharani. Today's video is about when your moon is in Bharani nakshatra, yet padha 2 of this nakshatra. Now, many of you are wondering, what is this? You know, moon in Aries and Bharani and then this padha. Well, I've already made a video on what moon in Aries does. Like moon in Aries people, how do they think? Then I made a video on Bharani nakshatra, which is a very extended video of what nakshatras are in a zodiac sign. Yet, even now, we want to narrow this thing down because two Aries people don't think alike, two Bharani nakshatra people don't think alike. This is why each nakshatra is divided into 4 parts, which are known as padhas. So today's video is on moon in Aries, Bharani nakshatra section, yet padha 2 of that section. And if you do not know where your moon is placed, where your other planetary placements are, or your nakshatras and padhas, for that check out the links here and check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, including my new magazines on your career. And on page 2 of the report, you will see at the bottom exactly where each planet is, what nakshatra they're in, what padha they're in. And as many of you want to know, each planet does different in each nakshatra and padha. It's not just that meaning of your moon in certain nakshatra as the same as, you know, Jupiter in that nakshatra. Okay? So seeing the fact that your moon is in Aries shows that the basic foundation is that your mind is very busy and active. You need to, all your energy in the mind that you feel like, oh my God, you're going to go crazy with, you need to exert that through physical action. Whether you exercise, whether you become an athlete, you become a fighter, a soldier, whoever, your mind is very aggressively thinking. It's always planning. It's always on the movement. So because your mind is on the movement, the body also wants to be on the movement because you do what your mind says. Ashwani nakshatra is a nakshatra of being responsible for your actions. So the actions that you're taking, you're being responsible for them. The actions that you're taking, you are bearing something creative through those actions, meaning that like you're this pregnant person who has all this creativity inside, and now through your actions you're taking this creativity out. And so what happens with this padha 2 of this Bharani nakshatra is that these people really concentrate on all the details of their action. They'd like to make sure everything is perfect. They want to make sure they haven't missed anything. These are the kind of people who may become OCD. They want to make sure that their step is always clean. When they go upstairs, that each step is hitting the same thing. They make great lawyers because their action is towards finding all the nitty-gritty things hidden in contracts and details. Yet at the same time, this is the moon that makes a person a great nurse. This moon gives them the ability to feel like they have a duty to serve the unprivileged, duty to serve the people who are sick, ill, and diseased. And so Bharani nakshatra, which is a nakshatra ruled by Venus, which is all about expressing yourself through love, relationship, compassion, artistic talent. Well, now what it shows that Venus really wants to make you give your compassion and love to people who are sick, people who need help. This nakshatra Bharani padha 2 are really the people who want to solve people's disputes mainly, because Virgo it's not just basically about health and healing. It's about solving disputes of people. What is the main dispute that you first run into as a human being? Your ill health. You want to solve this dispute in your body. Next become all these other mundane disputes like courts, property disputes, money disputes. This is why these people make great lawyers, great mediators, or they make great medical professionals who are able to go out, look at all the details and not miss the details, because you do not want a nurse to give you an injection without really reading all the fine prints. Maybe it was switched, maybe something happened. This is why a nurse with this nakshatra padha makes one of the best nurses, or a doctor. It's not just a nurse, somebody who gives health and healing to people, because they will not want to miss. They want to look carefully. What are they doing? They're always aware of their actions. And out of all these padhas that I've done so far, from in the Aries sign, this is the pada that is probably the most God-fearing. Because they are so careful of their actions, they feel like if they do a little bit of bad action, it's going to come back to them. Now, the thing is, though, with these pada 2 people, is they get stuck into details a little too much, to the point that they're panicky. They become panic. They get panic attacks, pada 2 people. Because of the fact they will be driving and they'll suddenly realize, oh my God, I sent this email to someone and I didn't forget to say this, I forgot to say that. I didn't write this thing in a correct grammatical manner, and I didn't do this in that correct grammatical manner. And this just drives them nuts. What happens with pada 2 people is that they forget to see the broader picture. That, hey, you just healed someone. Okay, so their bed wasn't made right. You gave them their injection 5 minutes early. And that 5 minutes of difference, which is probably nothing, really makes you think like, oh my God, you didn't do your job right. So what happens with these people, they get stuck into this wormhole where they criticize themselves. Like, I should have done this. So when they become artists, it's hard for them to finish one project. They become procrastinators. Their project takes too long. If they're doing a painting, their painting would probably take 5 years to make versus, let's say, 2 months. Because they do not want to miss the details. They feel like everybody will criticize them for their details. Well, that's not the case, because most people, it's like when you go and give a speech in front of a class, we all were like scared, oh my God, everybody's looking at me. But you don't realize that when you listen to someone giving a speech, within 10 seconds, your mind dozes off and you don't even care what they're saying. And this is what happens to us. We think everybody is paying attention to every single thing that we do. Well, we are missing the big picture. We need to give a message out. That's it. Forget saying everything correctly. If you give your message out, that is you. And that's where these people need to kind of improve that self. And what also happens with these people, in terms of seeing their shortcomings, is that instead of also criticizing themselves, they might criticize other people's work as well. This is the moon who feels these are the people who feels that they're responsible for telling you what needs to be corrected and what needs to be fixed. Like, they feel like, oh, they're not doing their job unless they have reminded you, oh, look, you missed this, you missed that, you missed that. And guess what happens in this? People kind of don't like you. People are like, okay, instead of praising me for what I've done for you, the first thing you say is to criticize my work, is to find all the shortcomings. And while these Bharani people, nakshatra people, are feeling that, oh, look what a great job I did. I just made him, be aware of all his flaws, of all the mistakes that they have made in their thing. I'm a good person. While again, you're missing the broad strokes, is that instead of first criticizing them, praise people first. And then you can go back and say, okay, this is really good, but look, if you just made this change and that change, your painting would be perfect. So this is something that they have naturally within themselves, and that's how they are. But if they can just be aware of this, they will correct themselves each time. So guys, this was my analysis of moon in the Bharani nakshatra pada 2. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And again, if you want to know where your moon is placed, what nakshatra and pada is in, for that, check out the links here and check out all my other new options, including the consultations. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow with pada 3. And on Friday, there's a huge video that I'm going to upload. So wait for that. Bye-bye.